Gotham has finally arrived. It has given us one episode so far, aptly titled Pilot. And it is aptly titled because this is our pilot episode of the Gotham After Show. Come on. Welcome everyone to the Gotham After Show. I am Chad Perkins, and here are our resident Batman experts, David Cottingham, Cory Cooley. Guys, Pilot. Pilot is the first episode that we have seen, and it was just that. It introduced us to a lot of people, a lot of characters, a lot of things going on in this episode. I just want to get your initial reactions, starting with you, Dave. What's going through your head?
Loved the pilot. I thought they really captured the emotion of Batman in it. I think the cast was fantastic. I mean, I went into it very high expectations, and I think it met every single one of them. It kept me engaged and completely ready for the next episode. Completely.
That it did, Cory.
I mean, you think you want to go into it with high expectations. I went in about middle of the road. You know, I didn't want it to. You know, I love Batman. I don't know if you ask anybody, I'm a huge Batman fan. But
you have a Batman tattoo.
I do have a Batman tattoo. I got when I was in Okinawa.
Yeah.
But you know, I went into it with an open mind as well as in the middle of the road, and it did not disappoint. Exactly as you said. There is a lot of stuff going on, but. You know, I was also kind of tweeting, so it was hard because I couldn't really do that. I could do it in commercials because, it was literally almost every scene I was trying to see something little go on and you know, something in the background. But there was a lot of that going on, I think. So yeah, there was a lot of activity. But other than that, everybody, I think, hit their characters spot on. I think we're going to see some interesting stuff.
Yeah, I think it definitely feels like Gotham City.
Yeah.
And it is shot beautifully. I think the cinematography on this thing is amazing, and the acting as well. But really, we've only scratched the surface. One down. 15 more to go?
Right.
So this is the pilot episode. Like I said, this is our pilot episode. So what we're basically going to be doing here is kind of finding our format. We're going to hopefully get a lot of feedback from the fans, open up some channels of communication through the old social networks where you guys can talk to us and we can answer some questions and talk back and so forth. So we're just going to kind of, as it is, feel our way through this first episode and let the format come for next week's episode, Selena Kyle. So let's just kind of break it down, though, from when it started to the first commercial break. The first thing that we open up with is something that we've seen a lot in the movies, never on TV in live action anyway, but we've seen this cinematically through animation. First time on TV. What did you think of the, oh, by the way, spoilers. Wayne murder.
Say what?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, I think they captured it. I think we had talked about it beforehand, saying that we kind of felt like it was going to be the first scene of the show.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised that Selena Kyle witnesses the murder. I thought that was actually a cool twist.
That was cool. Yes. I agree.
And it went down in a way. It obviously changed it a little bit because that's what the first episode was about. Was who was it? You know, everybody kind of knows from the books and stuff. It's Joe Chill, but is it Joe Chill, you know, or is it somebody else? Is it somebody hired? And I think that's going to be the theme throughout the first season. But they harpened back to a lot of the graphic novels or a lot of the comic book stuff. You know, Year One was that shot of Bruce Wayne yelling and screaming and the dead parents. That's straight out of Year One. And then the pearls is always Even Burton did it. Even Nolan did it, you know, so the pearls are always the thing, and that's prominent in Dark Knight Returns, the graphic novel of Frank Miller. So I thought it was well done. And I thought David Mizzou, I think his name is, for the actor Bruce. His scream was awesome. You know, I thought it was awesome.
Absolutely. I liked him a lot in the show Touch with Kiefer Sutherland.
I watched that.
That actually was I really liked that show. but he popped. I mean, when I saw he was going to be young Bruce Wayne, I was like, good to go. I mean, there was zero, zero speculation in that. But yeah, I agree. It was the Wayne murders. Yeah, I mean, it was done exactly the way everything else. I mean, besides Selena Kyle seeing it, which is interesting, and it was cool because they were never masked. That I could think back.
The killer.
The killer.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So
that's right.
and he had this little sliver, and I mean, it looked like Ivy's dad, the Pepper. Was it Barry Pepper? No, I can't.
Mario.
Mario.
Pepper.
Yeah. That's an actor.
Yeah.
Barry Pepper.
Get it straight.
There it is. But anyways, so yeah, and it almost kind of looked like, and that's why it was so easy for me to be like, oh, that was him. But then it was like, this is a little too easy. But, But no, I thought it was a classic, the classic images.
Yes,
yeah. And what a tough case to work for, your very first case for Jim Gordon, the Wayne murders here, and we see the true colors of Bullock shining through right from the very beginning. I thought that was pretty cool. What do you think about these two actors who are taking on some pretty important roles? I mean, well, obviously Jim Gordon more so than Harvey Bullock, but still.
Yeah.
How do you think they're doing?
I mean, it looks like Bullock to me. I mean, he looks like him. He's acting exactly how I expected him to act. But Bullock has been kind of, I don't know, in the Nolan universe, he wasn't.
There wasn't a Bullock.
Yeah, there wasn't really a Bullock, but
the characters like him.
There was like two, I think, actually that resembled him.
Right.
The guy who like started clapping, arrogant, Flask, and the other guy. What Daniel Logue is doing is fantastic. I mean, he's cutthroat. Seems like he's in it for himself, but then also I think he likes Gordon a little bit. I mean, I think, and there was a time when Bullock was like Gordon, but then kind of succumbed to Gotham, and he's kind of. I think he's going to bring out a little bit of. Gordon's going to bring out a little bit of that with this Bullock. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know too much about Bullock. He was in in like the Burton movie, in the first Batman. He was kind of substituted with the Eckhart. He was kind of like that.
Eckhart.
Yeah, he was that character. That was kind of what Bullock is.
Yeah.
But I read up on him a little bit, and when he first was introduced in Detective, he was actually hired by the mayor to sabotage Jim Gordon's career. So he's kind of in that bad cop, good cop kind of role. But I will have, and forgive me for not knowing, but there was I'm reading the new 52 right now in DC. There was a series in Detective this past called Icarus. I think it's a 5-part series in the past, like somewhere between 22 to 27, all about Bullock and his relationship with Batman. And it is a fantastic read. And for next week, I'll get the correct book. But it's a fantastic read. Icarus is like this drug that's out in the streets, and Bullock's trying to find it. I think Jim Gordon at this point is in jail because of something that's happening with what's happening now in Future's End. But it's a fantastic read, and you really get to kind of, because Bullock really doesn't like Batman in a sense. He's one of those guys where he doesn't like the vigilante side.
The cops, trust the cops.
And like, he's that cop that he's bad, but he's the one that kind of gets the side money, and kind of like Flask was, and he gets the side money.
What he believes he has to do,
correct. So I think Daniel Lowe, I love the actor Daniel, and I think he's doing a great job with it right now.
So after that first commercial break, came back, we met a few more people, including a very short scene with a little Enigma.
That's right.
That
Edward
was awesome.
Enigma, apparently who works for Gotham PD.
Which is,
that's a new twist, but hey, this whole thing is a retelling,
exactly.
And we've in our 0 episode podcast, Dave, I know you compared it a lot to kind of how Smallville redid the mythology for Superman. So this is kind of a new take, but so apparently we're going to see the corruption or the evil mind of Edward Enigma taking shape. I thought that actor did an incredible job. I can't wait to see more of him.
Absolutely.
And then we went on to meet Fish Mooney, of course.
Fish Mooney.
So discuss new character to the world of Gotham.
Yeah, I think what Jada's doing is good, and I'm glad. There always is that, like Smallville, you had Chloe Sullivan, right?
Right.
A created new character, you
Yeah.
know. So I think it's fine to do that. I think it's really cool to
She
do
got
that.
written in, didn't she?
And she's part of the comics. And I'm anticipating Fish Mooney will eventually find her way
No
into
doubt.
comic books as well. But no, the Riddler side, you know, I really, again, the actor.
Cory Michael Smith.
Yeah, that's right. So very good. I mean, fantastic. I mean, he really, really nailed it, I think. And I like the twist that he's a cop in this, you know, in a sense.
Yeah.
But again, I'll harpen back to the New 52 right now. 0 year for Batman. Scott Snyder's year-long storyline just ended. It was all about the Riddler. And if he's anything like that Riddler, or any kind of incarnation of that Riddler, man, he's gonna have so much fun in this series.
Yeah, that's where I
it's
left
gonna be
off
awesome.
actually in the comics.
Yeah.
But I agree. That was actually there was a couple of my. I mean, I don't know, a couple scenes. I'd say that was in my top three. Was just him, and the fact that he was doing the riddles, and then I almost said Flask. Bullock was like, oh, you know. But I thought it was really interesting because he's kind of has that Dexter feel to because he works with the police and he has the. And so I think that's really interesting because he worked for Wayne Industries, I think, in '52, right,
did.
in the beginning.
He did.
So I thought it was cool that he kind of did what's here but nothing, whatever his little riddle was, and then all of a sudden Gordon snaps back and goes nothing, and he just kind of stops and looks like
gives him the
he
look.
got it. Like
Yeah.
no one else even cares to even listen. Let me finish. I finished. He actually got. I thought that was awesome because he kind of looked at him like, oh, okay, this guy. So I'm that was like one of my favorite scenes because it was. That guy did an amazing job. I mean, everybody did an amazing job, but definitely my top 3 favorite scenes. And Fish Mooney, new character, really cool. You know, it's like her weakness is rain. Don't let my hair frizz. You know, that's poor penguin.
Yeah, I think
you
it's
know?
a wig. Is it a wig?
It's a straight
It's
wig.
a weave.
Because she like fixed it after she got done beating the
right.
crap out of Penguin. Which we'll get to that scene. We'll get to that scene later. But that's Fish Mooney. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting little. I don't anticipate her. Obviously being around for a long, long time, just because I think
agree.
she has to. I think she has to kind of.
She's a stepping stone, it seems
Exactly.
like, anyway.
Right.
But
Right.
again, first episode, hard to tell, but we shall see. Now when we...
She's cutthroat.
Yeah, definitely. No one threatens me.
Exactly.
She said
I
in a
mean,
later
she was like-
episode. Or in a later scene.
Well, it's like
Later episode,
yeah.
it's like her kids. Her and Will Smith's kids probably see that face a lot, which is like no one threatens me. Like,
Oh, that's a mad
she had
mom
that
face.
mad
Ooh,
mom.
Yeah. Oh, mad mom face. We've seen
Yeah.
that before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So come back from the another break, and we meet the lovely Barbara, not yet Gordon.
Yes. Well, hey, so you're telling me there's a chance?
Is telling me there's a chance. Yeah. And
Cool.
I just want to go ahead and skip to a later scene with her, with Renee Montoya.
Yes, right.
From Special Crimes, and I want to ask both of you guys, what do you think she meant when she says, and I'm paraphrasing here, but she says, does James know you like I know you?
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, to me, they were lesbians. Obviously.
Well, yeah.
they had a relationship.
It seems like maybe something went along those lines.
Yeah,
absolutely. But they
had a
shared an intimate moment.
correct, and probably moments. It seemed like they were a couple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is fine. I mean, no problem here.
No problem at all. I mean,
but no, it did catch me off guard a little bit. I mean,
Right. It wasn't completely transparent to me when it happened, at least for me when I was watching the episode, but I went back and I watched it a second time, and I was like, "Ooh."
No, I got it the first. I was like,
I mean,
wait. Well, like I said,
screaming
her
at me.
eyes kind of went somewhere, and I was like, okay, I know what she's
if
talking
she said
about.
it any other way, like if she'd go I almost did like that. This you're like I know you, like almost like maybe they were like in some kind of crime, something together or something. But she had to say it and like
Or
check
that
her
she
out,
had-
like
yeah, she
like
had
I
done
know you, like
something.
look down, So I think there was something there, which is very interesting.
Do you think that's the only secret? Do you think there's another secret maybe that Barbara is keeping from Jim?
You never know. I mean, I mean,
It's
Like
gotta.
there's-
I think there's got to be more
yeah.
I think
because
there is.
just that is not enough to keep it from Jim. I think there's something there, and obviously, every character has to have some kind of backstory.
Yeah.
There's something there. Yeah.
Now, so far, all the names of the characters from the comic books have been the same, except for Ivy. And Dave, we were talking about this earlier. Talk about how there's been a little bit of a change with. I mean, is this Poison Ivy? It seems like she's been advertised as Poison Ivy.
I mean, she looks like Poison Ivy to me. I mean, just
Yeah.
She has an affinity for plants, yeah. But.
She's over there piddling with one.
In the promos, they do throw up, before Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
But, I did read an interview with the executive producer, and he mentions in there, he mentions something in there about something about if it's not the actual character, it's almost like a nod to the character. And then, so she may not end up being the Poison Ivy. She may, for example, real quick, the Flash show that's coming out. In the first episode, there's Weather Wizard, but it's not the Weather Wizard. It's the father. So, you know what I mean. So this could be somebody. Who knows? She might change her name to Pamela Isley. I don't know. Who knows? But I'm okay with it. It doesn't matter. Honestly, I guess
she very well could, because she's already lost the dad. She very well could get orphaned or be on her own and try to. Yeah. You never know. I mean, geez, Pete,
and granted, she's very young, so
very young.
She's not going to be Poison Ivy, probably. Maybe much.
There's a lot of tangents going on, especially with Penguin.
Right, right. Now Falcone, the big dog himself.
Yes.
We got to meet him, and that was a pretty intense scene. Basically saving, the two detectives.
Right.
And basically telling, putting Fish in her place. If you're going to off some cops, got to go through the proper channels.
Right.
I'm still the big dog. She's obviously trying to take over, and Penguin's trying to take over her, and there's this triangle thing happened there. But what about Falcone? How do you think he's being represented in the TV show so far?
I was actually surprised we even got to meet him so soon.
I agree. Yeah.
He popped up at the perfect moment, and then ended up saving Bullock and Gordon. But his little conversation with Gordon was interesting, because it almost made him seem like he cared for Gotham in some weird, in his own twisted way. He believes in it's just like you've seen in the Nolan kind of universe and every other universe, where they believe in organized crime. Like he said, there needs to be justice and law and order to have organized crime. So it's interesting that that he let them live, that he saved them. I mean, it could have been through some kind of way to put Mooney in her place, because he knows she's trying to come up, take him out. But then, why would he save him if he was the one that actually offed? So I don't know. You know what I mean? There's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, like you said, this is scratching the surface. So it's. One thing it perfectly did was, now we're sitting here talking about questions like, what could it be? What could it be? But I thought he did a great job. The actor himself did.
It could be that obviously Bullock is in his pocket, and he was testing to see if he could do the same for Gordon, which we obviously see at the end of the show.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
right,
he's happy with what Harvey's doing, and it's always easier to get things done when you have the police in your pocket.
Right.
So maybe that's it. No need to kill a cop. He
does him a favor. I mean, he saved him, so
Plus, that scene gave us a lot of backstory. That was meant to establish the relationship, why he's saving him, because of his father. He knew his father.
Oh,
So
he was a DA, right?
Yeah, he was a DA of Gotham, I guess. Because Jim in this series has just come back to Gotham, I guess. He was in the military, I think, is what.
Right.
So
I think they referred him to as Soldier Boy,
Soldier Boy.
Army.
Yeah, not the rapper.
Soldier.
Yeah, that's Soldier Boy.
So that was an interesting scene. Like I said, like Cory said, it was a surprise that we got it in this episode. I guess maybe not, because it is the pilot. It's supposed to establish stuff. So I think it was very establishing, as far as Jim now knows what he's up against. Not only the corruption in the police department, but he knows exactly where it's coming from, and it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
Absolutely. So let's talk about these little Easter eggs, because that's always a fun thing to talk about. They're saying that there are going to be lots in there. Just throw some out there that you heard.
Well, Well, I was gonna say my favorite scene that I was watching it with my wife, and she actually watched it and actually enjoyed it. To the extent as she wasn't like me, which was as soon as Jada Pinkett Smith sitting there, and Penguin sitting beside her, and she's listening to a stand-up comic. And as soon as that scene, I'm talking as soon as it came on, and I knew that was a stand-up, and I knew she was watching him, and I like jumped out of my seat, was like, Joker! And like I was like, oh my gosh, I freaked out. But
You tweeted it
I
out,
did
yeah.
tweet it, but nobody else really mentioned it. But then I kind of kept looking, and it apparently people had known he was casted as a stand-up comic,
Right.
John Beavers, which, interesting enough, you would know more than that.
I knew exactly who he was.
From was it the Fresh Beat Band
Fresh
from
Beat Band on
Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon. That's who he. Yeah.
So
he
my
daughter watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. So he physically kind of looked. So that was one of my favorite scenes. I thought was a cool kind of Easter egg.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they're going to do. Now we don't know. It reads like they're going to do a potential Joker every episode.
Right.
With
Someone who
a
could
different
potentially
character. They said
turn into the Joker.
right, like
Yes.
a stand-up comedian or just a clown or somebody just with a really big grin. They were saying
Yeah, right.
at least in each episode. So
Someone who maybe sits in a purple chair.
yeah, ooh, crazy.
Right.
Yeah, it was died.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
just like
Dave, what did you pick up on?
Well, we mentioned was it Fourth and Grundy?
Fourth and Grundy.
yes,
yeah.
I did.
Grundy.
Yeah, that was cool.
If people don't know, it's Solomon Grundy is
Right.
a character.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going if that's put in there, the name is mentioned because they don't ever anticipate having a Solomon Grundy, which would kind of be a hard character to
It'd be
do,
very tough.
admittedly. So they
Yeah,
figure they just throw that
he's
in.
basically
for
a
fans.
zombie.
Yeah.
He's basically
Yeah.
And I want to say, I hope I'm right on this. In the new 52 incarnation, he's actually from Earth 2. Like there's no Earth 1 Solomon,
Right.
or Earth Prime Solomon Grundy. At least as of right now, there's not. So yeah, I don't know how they're gonna. I don't anticipate them doing Solomon Grundy, but I think we're gonna see little things like that.
Mm-hmm. One that I just perked up my ears, but it could have just been a fluke, is in the diner scene. I forget the other special crime detective.
major crime.
Major Crimes said to Bullock, he said, "Stay frosty."
Yes,
I thought that
that's
was
right.
kind of an
Yeah,
odd thing to
interesting.
say, which I'm totally
Yeah.
going to start saying now to people. Stay frosty.
Stay frosty.
You stay frosty now.
You want me to be cold? They don't understand. Like frost. Like yeah.
Don't
why don't you
ever
just-
say that.
Yeah. Why don't you be frosty?
Stay frosty. That is interesting.
So, Mr. Freeze reference there possibly.
Mhm.
Possibly.
Now, I do hope they would do Mr. Freeze.
Victor
Victor
Freeze.
Freeze.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Freezes or whatever.
That's a great storyline there.
Yes.
But was there any others? Like some people were saying the end scene with Penguin picking up the knife, that's kind of like a Joker knife, or the way he cut him would have been across the face to make a smile, or even
That's
that the blood splatter
creative.
kind of looked like the smile.
Creative, but it wasn't. I don't really.
Reaching maybe a little there.
Maybe a
Because
little.
the comedian was such an obvious.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
But
Such an
it
obvious
is.
one.
It is.
but,
It was very obvious.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of anything else that jumped out at me. Besides
Right.
those. But that's interesting, though. I didn't really think about that, but I feel like they would have paid more attention to the homeless guy. That's cool, though. It would be really interesting if, when the Joker did appear, that it all came back to that. Because
Yeah.
one of these guys will be a
He was
potential
just
one.
fishing. He wasn't
Exactly.
homeless guy, he was
So
fishing.
you don't really, they can point out all the obvious ones, like the
Yeah.
comedian, a clown, and nobody will think about the
Right.
Yeah.
homeless man on the side of that he was the
I have a feeling.
chosen potential.
I have a feeling they're gonna probably go down the Red Hood gang route. That's what I think. And
I
he's
think
gonna be
that
part
would
of
be a smart. I would love to see that done
Yeah.
in live
Eventually, I
action.
think
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Now, would you actually want there to be a quote-unquote origin story for the Joker, or just very
I think it's
vague like it's been in the comics?
about time.
Ooh, really?
I think it's about time we have some
I
sort
don't-
of.
As far as like he's given a name and everything?
Well, yeah. Why not? Why not? Why not?
I don't want him to have a name.
It's about time.
I don't want him to have a
I'm
name.
with you, Dave, on this one, but
I'll-
fine.
You can
my
show his
mind is
face.
open.
You can,
I'm
you
ready
can show
to-
his face, and even give him kind of a. No, I don't even want a backstory. I don't even want a
Okay.
backstory.
well, not to belittle television, but I think if ever it's going to come out, first it should be the comic books. just because that's
Yeah.
where Batman was born. And then secondly, movies.
And it kind of has, you know, with the Killing Joke.
Well, in a way. Did they give him an actual name?
They didn't give him a name. I think they called him Jack, but it was like just they
Right.
called him Jack. You know, like, hey Jack.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like so. But he was a struggling comedian.
Yeah.
Got thrown on the Red Hood, and that carried over into the New 52. He was basically part of the Red Hood gang, but he was never given a backstory. Right now, he's never.
Right.
You know.
I mean, the
so-
closest thing to a backstory was which is what Heath Ledger alluded to in one of his many different stories, was that he was in deep with the mob and wanted to, I guess, make his wife, I guess, happy, or wanted to, because what I understand, I think that's what it was in The Killing Joke, was him owed the mob something. At the
Yes.
time, there were lots of different Red Hoods. It was his turn to be the Red Hood to
correct.
take the thing. So that's when he went to Ace Chemicals.
Right.
So I think it'd be pretty cool if they showed an Ace Chemicals.
I would definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's back there in that city.
might
back
be.
there. In Gotham.
I don't know. It
behind us.
might be.
Way
We're
across the
we're-
bay there.
Yeah, we're across the bay.
Well, 30 minutes goes by really quick, especially when you're talking Gotham. Be sure to go to 21network.com or our official sites, gothamaftershow.com, to see if we have any extra podcast versions. Sometimes we might do some extra things we throw on just podcast-wise. Maybe, maybe not. Not promising anything. But if we missed any, after Gotham. If we missed any Easter eggs, or if you just have any comments about the show, call us on this phone right here. This isn't hooked up. No, no, I'm sorry. But follow us on Twitter at the Gotham After Show.
Just Gotham After Show.
At Gotham After Show. There is no the. It's like Facebook, but no, the Facebook.
Yes.
It's just Facebook. But follow the show any way that you can. Like us on Facebook. All this and that, social media. It's Gotham After Show. Thank you to Dave Cottingham, Cory Cooley. I'm Chad Perkins. Next episode is called Selena Kyle, so I'm expecting it to be a little catty. So tune in next time on the Gotham After Show to hear us talk about it. See you next time.